Greetings from Hetch Hetchy in Yosemite National Park. This video is for landscape photographers looking for locations and inspiration for photographing within the park. I'll share some of my favorite locations and some of the iconic locations. This place is awesome, my favorite place in the world, so let's go! Welcome, friends. This video is a guide to photographing Yosemite National Park. I'll share locations, photographic examples, and details for the iconic must-see locations like Tunnel View and Glacier Point, but also some less visited locations like Hetch Hetchy. I'll cover more on Hetch Hetchy later. The video was designed with photographers in mind visiting the park for the first time, but if you don't happen to be a photographer, that's okay. You'll still find valuable information here. To navigate this video, use the chapters below to bounce around, or simply sit back and enjoy my warm campfire storytelling voice. At least that's what I'm told from viewers and friends. But I digress. Let's get started. If you're visiting the United States and not familiar with Yosemite, Yosemite is an iconic national park in California located on the west coast of the United States. If you're flying in, I recommend using Fresno International Airport, FAT. It's a smaller airport, and that means easier to navigate. A bit more pleasing, too. You can also fly into Sacramento, SMF. It's bigger and not as pleasant. I've used both in the past, but from Fresno, you'll cut your windshield time in half at about 2.5 hours to the park compared to Sacramento, which is some 4 hours from the park. If coming from Fresno, you'll be taking Highway 41 north the entire way. Easy peasy. And a scenic drive, I might add, with lovely landscapes. If you have the time for roadside photography, find a safe pullout. There are lovely hills, trees, and rocks along the way. About halfway to Yosemite or an hour on the road, you can stop in the town of Oakhurst for groceries, supplies, gas, restaurants, etc. I'll usually stock up on snacks that fit into my backpack. So I'll buy a few gallons of drinking water to leave in the rental car for filling up water bottles and such. Just remember, leave no food in your rental car, as the bears in Yosemite will surely invite themselves. Not a pretty sight. Anyway, be sure to buy protein-rich snacks like beef jerky and healthier protein bars, especially if you plan on doing a lot of hikes in the park. We are getting closer and closer to Nevada Falls. And here we go. Look at this. Oh, wow. Wow. There are 5 entrances into the park. From Fresno, you'll enter through the south entrance, and just beyond that is the entrance to Mariposa Grove of giant sequoias. From here, you're about 45 minutes to Yosemite Valley. If you have time, the giant sequoias are worth a visit. I have a video you can watch for more info on the sequoias and ideas of how you might photograph them. In fact, I have an entire video series on Yosemite where you can learn more about the park and photographic opportunities. I cover Curry Village, Mirror Lake, Olmsted Point, Tuolumne Meadows, Vernal Nevada Falls, the Mist and John Muir Trail, and more. It's more of an adventure series, but you can definitely get lots of good info from these episodes. I highly recommend staying in the valley if possible. It's a bit more expensive, but you easily save that in time compared to traveling in and out of the valley daily, which will cost you a couple of hours out of your day. Time or money, I always say. And if I'm visiting Yosemite, I'll always choose more time over money. You can always make more money later, so take advantage of the time you have there. And you can thank me later by leaving a comment in this video. There are several ways to stay in the valley, including traditional campsites, tent cabins, and open-air camp units. But for more of a hotel experience in the valley, it's either Yosemite Valley Lodge or the Ahwahnee. And if money isn't a concern of yours, the Ahwahnee is Yosemite's only luxury hotel, which I'll never experience, as this is way above the cost of my wallet. I've stayed in the tent cabins at Curry Village and the rooms at the Yosemite Valley Lodge. For a tour of Curry Village and the tent cabins, watch episode 1, Curry Village, of my Yosemite series, and you can learn more there. That said, here's a quick tour of Curry Village. This is the lounge cabin, and here's my buddy Mark Camp lounging. I seen you, man. Cell coverage is weak, so the lounge offers Wi-Fi and the ability to charge your devices. Wi-Fi was not reliable, though. I offered tips for charging your devices in your tent in episode 1, Curry Village, of my Yosemite series. There are views of Glacier Point by simply looking up some 3,200 feet. And the hour drive to get there is a must on your list. So from the lounge area, this is the dining area. It's called the deck. And here you can get Half Dome Pizza. There's a pizza parlor right below the deck. And then to the right, there's a restaurant. And to the right of that is the dining hall, 7 tents, which I showed earlier. Mark Camp and I actually have a joke in my Curry Village video that the deck should really be named Half Dome Pizza, because from the deck, there are views of Half Dome. Just saying. But anyway, the pizza is actually pretty good. And you certainly can't beat the views and vibes. Yeah. Oh, look at this. There's a well-stocked village store for food and souvenirs. And to the left of the store, on the same deck, is the mountaineering store, which sadly I didn't get any video footage of. Both Curry Village and Yosemite Valley Lodge have dining options. However, in my opinion, the food is a bit better at Curry Village, especially breakfast. And the dining hall at Curry Village is quite lovely. While I'm not covering housekeeping camp or the campsites, you can visit nps.gov to learn more about these lodging options. Just be sure to plan your trip early and book way in advance. Unfortunately, I didn't do much recording while staying at the Yosemite Valley Lodge. Here's a clip in the heart of the lodge grounds. To my right is the Mountain Room Lounge and Bar, which has a fire pit in the center of the floor. In front of me here is the Mountain Room Restaurant, which appeared to be set up like a conference room during my visit. And straight ahead on the right is where you'll find the dining hall, the Base Camp Eatery, I believe it's called. And to my left is a gift shop with food and snacks. Here's another view inside the Base Camp Eatery at Yosemite Valley Lodge. When ordering here, you have to use a kiosk. And while it's not bad, I've seen folks struggling to place their order. I helped one guy for several minutes before getting the staff involved. Not the most streamlined approach to a busy dining hall. Not to mention only 3 of the kiosks were in service. It wouldn't be a complete tour through the valley without mentioning Yosemite Village. It's a short bike ride from Yosemite Valley Lodge and Curry Village, or you can hop on the shuttle as well. There's also plenty of parking here. In many ways, it's like the hub or downtown of the valley, in my opinion anyway, because there's a welcome center, post office, museum, visitor center, wilderness center, and of course, the Ansel Adams Gallery, which, mind you, every photographer should really visit if you're in the valley. That's great. You think all that weight too. Well, all that weight for that camp. Yeah,
you needed this thing to do it because, my God.
All right. You also find a village store which is fully stocked. Think of a small grocery store and souvenir shop. Woo! Yes! They got it! There are a few restaurants and, of course, Degnan's Deli, which my friend Mark Camp and I always seem to find ourselves at when in Yosemite Village. Well, we're back to Degnan's Kitchen. Because the grill that we just left down here is closed on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. While you won't do much landscape photography here, although there are great views of Yosemite Falls, just look up.
Getting the mountain behind?
I hope so. That's as high as I can go, right? Okay, I missed it in this shot, but I promise it's there. Well, those are the highlights for Yosemite Village. And with just a short walk, shuttle, or bike ride from the village, you can hit Lower Yosemite Fall Trailhead and take in the views of North America's tallest waterfall, Yosemite Falls. While at Lower Yosemite Falls Trail, there are plenty of opportunities for intimate scenes of large fallen granite boulders and their neighboring trees. And when arriving at the foot of the lower fall, I recommend mounting a telephoto lens and capture powerful moments in time of the water that makes the Merced River run. So I kept my promise and returned to Yosemite to experience her autumn beauty and much more. Again, following in the footsteps of her legendary stewards, Ansel Adams and of course, John Muir. But gone is the roar of her mighty falls, not to reemerge till next year's spring thaw. When the snowpacks finally melt and the cataracts reawaken, then will the valley echo with its thunder and awe. So before Yosemite surrenders to winter's icy grip, I will explore new vistas and reacquaint with old friends, like my beloved Valley View, the trees of Olmsted, and of course where the river makes its bend. Not really sure if I'll ever make it back, but I feel blessed to have visited her twice. She has touched my very soul in oh so many ways. I truly believe I've found my paradise. Thanks for watching, and look forward to the next episode where I'll share locations to capture images like these. Like and subscribe and click the bell icon to be notified when the next video is released.